If we live forever, time would never change how we love. No river could run between us. You're never alone, I'm yours till I'm gone. The beat of my heart is for you, and the song will make us dance until the day stops. We can toast to celebrate us in the end of time. This page is the beginning, the book is never ending. True story, I just wanna love you with every bit of my heart. If the time never came, it's not good enough. You can't have my soul. Everything I am for you. I just wanna love you with every bit of my heart. What can you say? The way I feel. This is more than love. Everything I am for you. I just wanna love.
This is Jeremy Brown, a 28-year-old father of 4, desperately trying to leave his apartment while his wife films him on Facebook Live. Minutes later, something irreversible would happen. What no one watching that live stream realized was that they were witnessing the last public moments of a marriage that was about to collapse in real time. Let me take you back to understand how a devoted father who worked 2 jobs to support his family ended up murdered on a Saturday morning, and uncover the 5 red flags that could have saved Jeremy Brown's life.
Eat popcorn, watch TV, wanna watch a movie? Yeah. Eat your popcorn. Now movie time, ain't it? Yeah, movie time. Eating a bowl of popcorn? Eating a bowl of popcorn? Yeah. What you watch? Watch TV? Yeah.
Jeremy Rashad Brown was born on October 18, 1994, in Columbus, Mississippi. He grew up in a loving family as the second of 4 children, raised in a home where hard work and family values were everything. His mother worked 2 jobs to provide for them, teaching Jeremy the importance of responsibility. His father was always present, coaching Little League and helping neighbors with car repairs in his spare time. Even though his neighborhood had its challenges, Jeremy's home was filled with warmth and laughter. He became known as the good kid, someone who looked out for others and always did the right thing. Jeremy helped elderly neighbors with yard work without being asked, gave up his seat for someone's grandmother at church, and walked friends home after dark. His teachers and friends often said he had a wisdom beyond his years, an understanding of life that most people only gain with age.
No, you ain't trying to get ready for work. Look at him. This is a sad case, y'all. He getting his stuff. Look at that. Sad case. As a father.
Okay, Jeremy, what is the conversation you want to have?
We good.
Yeah. And your baby in the room.
Conversation you want to have?
We good. Give me my phone, bro. Don't share
What is the
some moves.
conversation you want to have?
What the conversation?
Get out my
He
phone.
said, what's the conversation?
Motherfucker gonna keep her hands
kill
on me,
your
bro.
ass, not bitch. Stop. Nobody, I can get out my bed for this.
Yeah, people so
Stop.
man. Everybody lose my shoes, man.
Oh, you ain't getting nothing. Everything in the top belongs to me.
Stop. Get somewhere and sit down. Y'all gonna have to stop all this. Cause then y'all wonder why the kids.
After graduating from high school in Jefferson, Mississippi, Jeremy wasn't interested in chasing fame or popularity. He focused on family and work, talking about starting his own business one day, maybe in carpentry or landscaping, and he wanted to build something from the ground up, something he could pass down to his children. Jeremy picked up jobs as a delivery driver and later in construction. These weren't glamorous positions, but Jeremy never complained. Every paycheck went towards supporting his family, paying bills, and saving for the future. He wasn't looking for recognition, he was just trying to do right by the people he loved. It was during this phase that he met Khadijah Michelle Brown. She was 29 years old, and in many ways, she was Jeremy's complete opposite. Where he was calm and measured, Khadijah was energetic, outspoken, and had a fiery temperament. But despite their differences, there was an undeniable chemistry. Jeremy's calm nature seemed to balance out Khadijah's intensity, and she brought a spark to his steady life.
If you feel like happiness is the truth,
They ready to get up and move around. That's what they did. They don't want to sit down no more. They said they got to they ready to move. They don't want to sit down. Look at that bill.
Their relationship moved quickly, and within a year they were living together. Jeremy was all in. He took care of Khadijah, made sure she never lacked anything, and referred to her as his queen. Even when they argued, which happened often, Jeremy tried to resolve things calmly. He believed in communication, compromise, and forgiveness. He was loyal, attentive, and completely dedicated to making their relationship work. When the children came, everything changed for Jeremy. Fatherhood became his purpose. Together, they had 4 children, and Jeremy embraced the role with unwavering dedication. He wasn't the type of father who just showed up. He was present, helping with homework, making breakfast before heading to work, attending school events. Even after working grueling 12-hour shifts, he would come home exhausted but always find energy for his kids. His social media accounts were filled with snapshots of these precious moments. He often referred to his children as his purpose, and his actions proved it. Jeremy was quick to offer hugs, own up to his mistakes, and above all, made sure his kids knew they were loved. His love was constant and unconditional. But despite how much effort Jeremy poured into the relationship, cracks began to show. Arguments between Jeremy and Khadijah became more frequent, and those close to Jeremy started noticing a shift. They knew him as a patient person, often to a fault. He was the type who always sought to keep the peace, tirelessly working to mend what was broken. Family meant everything to him, even when it came at the cost of his own peace of mind. Khadijah saw things differently. She accused Jeremy of not being around enough, of not spending enough time with the children. She felt like she was carrying the entire weight of their family alone. These arguments turned toxic, and although Jeremy tried to keep the peace, the tension only escalated. It was during this time that Khadijah began posting things on social media. Subtle hints about her frustrations with Jeremy began appearing, including posts accusing him of cheating with his coworkers and shared screenshots of alleged text conversations. While there was no concrete evidence that Jeremy had been unfaithful, Khadijah's growing anger on social media signaled something darker was brewing. Investigators later pointed to the couple's history of public arguments and previous domestic disturbance calls as warning signs that the situation had been escalating.
Hit me now.
What's up, man?
I'm still asking what is the conversation.
Oh man, that's what I'm finna do. I'm finna get out. I ain't really trying to argue at all. I'm just trying to get out.
No, you want to go tell your family about this and about that. You want to do this.
I'm trying to leave from over here and pee, man. I ain't trying to argue at all.
Ain't nobody.
I'm going to take my car key off.
Them my keys.
Stop. What is the conversation?
No, what's the conversation?
What's
What's the conversation?
Keep your hands on.
What's the conversation?
Keep your hands on. Don't touch me, bro.
What's the conversation?
Move, bro. I'm trying to get ready for work, man. Go.
How you getting ready for work?
What is going on? That's all
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm over here doing. Talking about I don't do nothing for the kids. I don't do nothing. I do what I can when I can.
understand.
But like I said, don't keep putting me in situations that's not my problem. And then, like I said, this is your family. You supposed to be here, help and take care of
No,
these
he ain't straight.
kids.
No,
You're not good because you're not here taking care of these kids.
he wanna go call everybody.
Keep your hands on me, bro. Don't touch me again.
Touch you.
Jason, sit there over here. We'll make it easy. Sit there over here. I'm gonna do it just like that. Sit there over here.
Ain't nobody finna come over here and do nothing.
Get your hands on me, bro. Stop touching me. Move.
Jesus, stop.
Sit there over here, Jason.
Ain't nobody coming over here.
On me, bro. Sit down. Get your motherfucking hands on me, bro. Stop touching me, bro.
Stop.
Stop touching me.
I'm gonna kill you. Murder scene,
Stop
murder.
touching me again.
Stop.
Let go. Touch me. Touch me again. Touch me a motherfucking again.
Stop putting
Touch
me
me
there.
again.
Ain't nobody finna do
Don't go
that.
putting a gun out
Ain't
on me.
nobody finna do nothing.
Open the car. Don't worry about it. Touch me again. Touch me again.
Stop. Yeah.
Touch me again.
Yeah, stop. Yeah,
Touch me
bitch.
again.
Stop. Stop. I'm not over here for this.
Motherfucker gonna keep her
I
hands
kill
on me,
your
bro.
ass, not bitch. Stop. Nobody, I can get out my bed for this.
Man, people so
Stop.
Oh, you ain't getting nothing. Everything in the top belongs to me.
Stop. Get somewhere and sit down. Y'all gonna have to stop all this. Then y'all wonder why the kids.
On the evening of March 24, 2023, Jeremy and Khadijah had been arguing throughout the day. There were accusations, doors slamming, raised voices. Their 4 children were in the apartment, exposed to the escalating tension. Jeremy tried repeatedly to cool things off, but Khadijah wouldn't let it go. Early on the morning of March 25th, as the argument continued, Khadijah made a decision that would change everything. She went live on Facebook, something she had done before when upset. Dozens of people tuned in to the live stream that morning, expecting another heated exchange. What they didn't realize was that they were about to witness the last public moments of a marriage that was about to collapse in real time. The live stream showed Khadijah airing her grievances to her Facebook audience, complaining that Jeremy had left at 6 a.m. to visit his mother instead of staying home with the kids, and criticizing him for not cooking breakfast before his work shift. Anger was clear in her voice as the rant continued, accusing Jeremy of questioning everyone's loyalty while showing none himself. She argued that even though he needed to be at work by 9 a.m., he still had time to cook for the children, and added that he picked up his friend Law and drove him to work every day, but somehow couldn't put gas in both cars. The complaints kept piling up, each one adding fuel to her growing rage. Throughout the live stream, Jeremy can be heard repeatedly saying he just wants to leave and get to work, but Khadijah wouldn't let him go peacefully. Jeremy tried to disengage, telling Khadijah they were good and asking for his phone, but she kept pressing him, demanding to know what conversation he wanted to have. The tension in the apartment grew heavy. Then things turned physical. Jeremy could be heard pleading with her not to touch him, warning him that he would call the police, and repeating that he just wanted to leave, not argue. Jeremy repeatedly stated he was just trying to leave, that he wasn't trying to harm anyone. He was attempting to remove himself from the volatile situation, doing exactly what experts advise. But Khadijah blocked his path, physically preventing him from leaving while continuing to berate him on camera. The viewers watching this unfold in real time had no idea how close they were to witnessing a tragedy. They could hear the couple shouting at each other, see Khadijah's anger burning through the screen, and hear Jeremy's exhausted pleas for peace. Then, suddenly, the live stream ended. The screen went black. Viewers were left in confused silence, wondering what had just happened. Many assumed the argument had simply ended, that Khadijah had turned off the camera and the couple would cool down. But the tragedy had only begun. What happened next occurred off-camera in those critical moments after the live stream ended. According to investigators, as Jeremy turned to leave the apartment, attempting one final time to remove himself from the conflict, Khadijah made a fatal decision. As Jeremy turned away and attempted to leave the apartment, investigators say Khadijah grabbed a gun and fired a single shot into his back. The sound of the gunshot echoed through the apartment complex. Neighbors and some of the Facebook Live viewers who were still listening heard the bang, followed by frantic screaming. Within minutes, multiple 911 calls flooded into the Lowndes County Sheriff's Department. People who had been watching the live stream reported what they had witnessed. Neighbors reported hearing screams at a loud bang coming from the apartment. Deputies rushed to the scene at Green Tree Apartments. When they arrived, the scene was devastating. Jeremy Brown, the man who had spent his entire life taking care of others and working tirelessly to support his family, was found lying motionless on the floor. He had been shot once in the back. Despite the immediate arrival of paramedics, there was nothing that could be done to save him. Jeremy was pronounced dead at the scene.
No, you ain't trying to get ready for work. Look at him. This is a sad case, y'all. He getting his stuff. Look at that. Sad case. As a father.
Okay, Jeremy, what is the conversation you want to have?
We good.
Yeah, and your baby in the room.
Conversation you want to have?
We good. Give me my phone, bro. Don't say
What is the
something.
conversation you want to have?
What the conversation?
Get out my
He
phone.
said, what the conversation?
Motherfucker gonna keep her hands
Kill
on me,
your
bro.
ass, not bitch. Stop.
Deputies quickly secured the area and found Khadijah Brown inside the apartment, visibly shaken and not resisting arrest. She appeared to be in shock, possibly only beginning to grasp the seriousness of what had happened. What followed stunned investigators. Khadijah did not deny her actions, admitting that during the argument she grabbed the gun and fired, an explanation that did not align with the physical evidence. There was no signs of a struggle. Jeremy had not been holding a weapon. He wasn't the one being aggressive. In fact, according to investigators and the live stream footage, Jeremy was unarmed and attempting to leave the apartment to avoid further conflict when the situation escalated. The police quickly concluded this was not a case of self-defense. The lack of any struggle, the fact that Jeremy was unarmed, the evidence that he was attempting to leave, and the most damning of all, the single-shot gunshot wound to his back, all pointed to an unnecessary and tragic loss of life. Within hours, Khadijah Michelle Brown was arrested and charged with murder. On March 28, 2023, bond was set at $750,000. An autopsy was scheduled for Jeremy, and Lowndes County Sheriff Eddie Hawkins told media that the couple had been arguing most of the night, that Jeremy was allegedly trying to leave and defuse the situation before being shot, and that the entire incident had been playing out live on Facebook. As the investigation continued, police pieced together the complete timeline. They learned about the history of arguments between Jeremy and Khadijah, the mounting tensions that had been building for weeks or even months. The most troubling aspect was the public nature of the crime, an argument that turned deadly broadcast for the world to see. The investigation also uncovered Khadijah's social media history. She had posted multiple times in the weeks leading up to the murder, airing her grievances about Jeremy. She accused him of cheating with his co-workers, of neglecting their 4 children, of being a bad partner. However, despite her very public claims, there was no concrete evidence that Jeremy had been unfaithful.
Khadijah Brown pled guilty to second-degree murder today in Lowndes County Circuit Court. She was ordered to serve 34 years in prison. 6 years of the sentence was suspended. Brown shot 38-year-old Jeremy Brown at their Green Tree apartment in March of 2023. At the time, Sheriff Eddie Hawkins says the couple had been arguing the night before the shooting. The sheriff told WCBI Jeremy Brown was allegedly trying to leave the apartment the next morning and defuse the situation before he was shot. The shooting happened on a Facebook live stream and made national headlines. You may remember that. Khadijah Brown told the court the shooting was an accident.
His family and friends vouched for him, saying he had always been a committed and dedicated partner and father. In August 2023, a grand jury indicted Khadijah on murder charges. The case moved forward, and by May 24, 2024, over a year after Jeremy's death, Khadijah appeared in Lowndes County Circuit Court for her plea hearing. Khadijah's defense team attempted to frame her actions as emotional instability, claiming she had been overwhelmed by the pressures of motherhood and the strained relationship. They argued she had lost control in the heat of the moment, acting out of desperation and unable to handle the emotional turmoil any longer. But the prosecution countered strongly. They argued that emotional instability does not justify murder, that Khadijah made a conscious decision to pick up that gun, and that her actions were not born of self-defense or panic, but of a deliberate choice to end her partner's life. They highlighted that this wasn't an isolated incident, but the culmination of years of tension, control issues, and unresolved conflict. In the end, Khadijah pleaded guilty to second-degree murder as part of a plea deal. She was sentenced to 40 years in prison, 34 years to serve behind bars, followed by 6 years of supervised release. The courtroom was silent as the verdict was read. The sentencing sparked debate in the Columbus community. Some believed justice had been served, but others felt the sentence wasn't long enough given the gravity of the crime and its public nature. Some argued that Khadijah had been acting out of emotional distress and deserved leniency. Others felt her actions, committed in jealousy and anger, were unforgivable. Jeremy Brown's death left his family, friends, and community heartbroken. He had always been the rock of his family, the dependable one who worked hard, cared deeply for his children, and made time for everyone he loved. His commitment to his 4 kids was unwavering. He had provided for them and been there through thick and thin. Now, with him gone, the future was uncertain for his children, who were left without their father. Jeremy's funeral was held on April 8, 2023, at Friendship MB Church, drawing community support from across Columbus. People gathered to honor a man who had been taken far too soon, a devoted father whose only crime was trying to walk away from a fight. The most chilling aspect of this case was the role social media played. In the modern age, platforms like Facebook have become spaces where emotions, arguments, and even violence can be broadcast to the world. For Khadija, Facebook Live had become a platform for sharing her most intense emotions, including her frustrations with Jeremy. The decision to live stream their argument that fatal morning was both an act of desperation and an expression of emotional turmoil. But as is often the case with social media, the consequences went far beyond what she intended. Once the argument turned deadly, online witnesses were left traumatized, having unwittingly watched the build-up to a murder in real time. Many viewers who tuned in expecting just another argument found themselves processing something far more horrific. For those watching, the sight of Khadija's anger, followed by the sudden end to the stream and the realization of what might have happened, left an indelible impression. It wasn't just a personal tragedy for Jeremy's family, but a larger tragedy that exposed how social media can escalate private issues into public catastrophes. As of today, no appeals or updates have been reported. Khadija remains in the Mississippi Department of Corrections custody, serving her sentence. There have been no motions for parole, no legal challenges to her conviction. The case appears to be closed, with Khadija facing decades behind bars for her actions that March morning. This case raises difficult questions about how conflict, social media, and domestic violence collide behind closed doors. What do you think could have changed the outcome here? Let us know in the comments and watch the next case on your screen now.
Eat popcorn, watch TV, and watch a movie. Yeah. Eat your popcorn. And movie time, man. Yeah, movie time. Eating a bowl of popcorn. Eating a bowl of popcorn. Yeah. What you watch? Watch TV?
Graduated with honors, Layla Edwards. London Gillespie. Kaylee Harris. Mallory Hill. Graduating with honors, Janiah Jackson. Graduating with honors, Noah Jones. Jordan Latham.